Stats lives matter. So let's check out our Cowboys in this Big 12 race. Basketball can be the savior of this fire-roasted Gundy fight. Unfortunately, sad situation. We find ourselves in foosball. The Big 12 slate is here. We're not in it. We get to look at our picks. And of course, all of Big 12 country can get behind Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things cowboy and cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. You could be anywhere, so happy you choose to be here. We're available on every single podcasting platform, visually as well on YouTube. Find me on Twitter at AllDayOState. I never once in my life thought I'd be rocking crimson, but I also didn't know for quite some time that KU's colors were crimson and blue. Clearly, away games, right? They're going to incorporate some white or something to that effect, which I'm pretty pumped up to see because their all black uniforms were pretty fire. So that's it. That's my adopted team, not only this week, but I'm thinking for the future on, okay? My secondary team is going to be KU. And I'm never thought I'd do like the golden blue dude stuff where I have different teams in the background. But what I have decided I'll do is because I got some people sending me some BYU stuff. KU Nation, I will rock the Jayhawks whenever you're not playing the Cowboys, and especially when we're off. So when you look at the statistical information, it does kind of support where we're at. It's not all bad, right? It's definitely not all bad. There are some areas statistically in the Big 12 that we're looking pretty daggone good, and we're gonna be on target with some of the stuff, just like our red, white, and blue main man, Bob. He's also a Jayhawk fan today, supporting the Bird Dogs hat. We got the blue Bird Dog pants on, too. The statistical analysis side of things is pretty indicative of where we are. Again, not all bad, but let's run through it real quick. Overall offense, you probably guessed we're 12th in the Big 12. Overall defense, we're 11th. I'm not going to lie. That's a little surprising when you take into consideration some of the other stats that we'll get to in a second. But being 12th, 11th, right, that's not great. It's obviously not great. But let's continue on here. From a rushing perspective, Oklahoma State is 12th in the conference. Defensively, we're 10th in giving up the rush. Passing, we're 13th in the conference. Defensively, we're 11th in the conference. Returns, we're 12th in the conference. Punts, we are 10th in the conference. Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. Sacks against, 12th in the conference. Sacks by, there we go, we're 6th. We're 6th in the conference in sacks. We're 14th in the conference in interceptions, but we will get to some of the leaders here in a second, which kind of helps out that story a little bit. But overall, yeah, we got some things to do defensively that you don't necessarily see on a continuous basis. First downs, getting first downs, we're 12th in the conference. Stopping opponents from first downs, we are 9th in the conference. Third down conversions, we're 9th. Allowing third down conversions, we're 11th. That's been a tricky situation. Fourth downs conversions, we're number 4 in the conference, and we're stopping fourth downs defensively, number 3 in the conference. So again, there are some things that we could look into that of course support the picture, but also help understand kind of where some of the deficiencies are. All right, let's go with the rushing leaders. Guys, we're not feeding Ollie Gordon enough. I think everybody knows that. But you can see him, he's just shy of the top 10 here in the conference. He's number 11 in the conference. So if we feed him the ball a little bit more, this could be an area that we're able to exploit. If you go to the passing side of the game, it's probably not that big of a surprise since we've been doing the rotation. And Alan Bowman does the drifting backwards 35,000 yards thing. But Alan Bowman is 14th in the conference in passing. You go to the receiving side of the ball. This is typically where Oklahoma State seems to flourish. No matter what's happening offensively, no matter what's happening with the coaching, locker room, doesn't matter. A wide receiver thing is something that we've always been able to find a way to excel at. Guys, we go all the way to 18th in the conference before you pop up an Oklahoma State player, which is Jaden Bray. A little bit surprising. Thought it would be DeJon Stribling. DeJon Stribling is 23rd in the conference. We just, we're not getting the ball there effectively enough. Scoring. Our top scorer is our kicker, Alex Hale. Alex Hale is our top kicker. That typically says some things here and there. Let's go to the defense side of the ball, because this is where things get a little bit better. Tackles on the season, Kendall Daniels. And this is the thing. We all know that Kendall Daniels isn't exactly performing at the same level as he was, even to some degree, last year, right? So when Kendall Daniels finds a way to kind of kick in that next extra gear, Kendall Daniels should be able to fly up this list, which is a very good indication on the talent that we do, in fact, have. And then not too far behind him, top 10 still at number 9 is Nicholas Martin. So those two guys can continue to climb. And then here we go. Here's probably a surprise. Just outside the top 10 is Lyric Rawls. And then just outside the top 15 at number 16 is Colin Oliver. So again, defensively, we have some things going for us. Overall, not so much. Individually, yes. Which again, we're at a point in the season where some individual extra human efforts are going to be needed. They are going to be necessary. So some of the guys that can do that, we need to be paying attention to. Tackles for loss. Colin Oliver's just shy out of the top 5 right there at number 6. That's very acceptable. Sacks. Sacks in the Big 12. Where are we at? Oklahoma State. Oh, you got to go down to 19. Nick Martin. And then right below him, number 20, a little bit of a surprise, I would say, is Nathan Alatu. Passes defended. How is our secondary being able to operate efficiently within the defense and give problems? Nobody. Oh, no. I didn't see that before. There's nobody. We don't have anybody. We don't have anybody in the top 25 in passes defended. Okay. Yeah, that one I didn't see that one. And then you go to interceptions. This is an area we're struggling at. The only one that makes it here on the list is Lyric Rawls, just outside of the top 15 at number 16 in the conference in picks. And let's see, fumbles recovered. We've got Kendall Daniels. Kendall Daniels in the top 10 at number 9, fumbles recovered. And then fumbles forced. Number 2 in the Big 12 is Colin Oliver. So when you look at the statistical side of things, you can see that there are some bright sides on the defensive side of the ball. And it, again, on the offensive side of the ball, it is supportive of the problem that we are currently having. This is not necessarily an individual coaching issue. We know that our players love a lot of our individual coaches. The problem is at the top, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I'm not trying to, be a force feeder of this negativity type stuff towards Gundy. I am just simply saying it's very reasonable to be able to connect all the dots, right? I mean, all of this stuff makes so much sense because it's been kind of trinket out over the years. And I'm sorry, him being absent more often than not from 2017 to 2022 is very evident, apparent, and there's so many people that are very well aware of that. Clearly, him being forced to attend this year's practices, this year's offseason, spring, all that stuff, 24/7, it wasn't beneficial. It was a show of force. And honestly, guys, I think that's a great thing that Chad Weiberg was able to get Gundy to come to all the practices this year to be a little bit more involved, or at least give the appearance of being more involved. But that's the problem. The problem is it was just for show. So 1 year of practice does not cancel 5-6 years of a significant amount of absence. And it's, again, very visible. The not being able to build relationships, the not being able to keep the engagement of the locker room. If the guys don't trust you, if the guys don't even trust the guy right below you, then this is the result, right? The offensive numbers are pretty indicative of the overall situation. And if you go back and look last year, it's going to be somewhat comparable. It's a trend, right? When it's a trend, it's a problem. Another thing that could potentially be a problem for all of us dudes in life is hair loss. And if you see, I'm ready to rock and roll now. The beard's gone. The man myth mulleted Gundy mullet that I had, it's gone. So now it's my chance to regrow everything with Nutrafol, or at least give my scalp the best ability and protection around in the game. Again, guys, we don't all have to go through this. I mean, it is somewhat inevitable, but get ahead of the game here And do yourself a favor. You don't have to choose between hair growth and your health anymore because Nutrafol provides a whole body health approach for men that promotes healthier hair. No drugs, no compromises, just better hair. That's it. Men think losing their hair is absolutely inevitable. Well, you can take control of it, y'all. You can take control of your future with Nutrafol science-backed hair growth supplements for men. Guys, you know 80% of men will experience hair thinning in their lifetime, okay? Right? So to some degree, it is inevitable. It's normal. It's okay. It's cool, but it doesn't have to be your fate. You can get ahead of everything in your thinning with Nutrafol. If you're tired of weakening, thinning hair and you want to reach your full hair potential, the leading hair growth supplement is Nutrafol, and it helps you improve your hair growth, visible thickness, and visible scalp coverage. And it's the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement clinically shown to improve your hair growth, visible thickness, visible scalp coverage. Come on, y'all. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair for a limited time. We're going to ride this journey together. Nutrafol's offering you right now $10 off your first month's subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code LOCKEDONCollege. That is all one word. Guys, find out why 4,000 healthcare professionals recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Go to Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men, and enter the promo code LOCKEDONCollege, all one word. Nutrafol.com/men, promo code LOCKEDONCollege. Take control with the other 84% of men that have showed improvement in their hair growth in the first 6 months by taking Nutrafol's hair growth supplements already, y'all. So now we get to talk about the bright side of things, which is basketball. It very well can be, arguably should be, the breath of fresh air, the savior in all of this situation. So if you've heard, in Spain, we did some good things, right? We won the first game over a bunch of grown men that had a legitimate, 7-foot center that's been a professional for quite some time, that even had a few cups of coffee in the NBA. And we did pretty good. But then the second game, we had a hard time. In third game, fourth time, we kept it close. We played pretty well. So you saw some of the flashes. But as Mike Boynton even said, we strategically, specifically, we didn't run anything. We just said, here's 2 things we want you to accomplish on offense. Here's 2 things we want you to accomplish on defense. Now we want you guys to go figure this thing out against grown men. It was a test. And realistically, they passed most of the test. And then they come back. They're a little bit more mature, which is why Mike Boynton is saying that they're more ahead of the group last year. I mean, take that for whatever it's worth, because we've heard that from Gundy. Heck, you guys have heard it from me from the football perspective. So who really knows? But you've seen some of the clips come out of us, Isaiah Miranda, breaking down the the rim off the backboard. Goodness me, words are hard. I apologize for me. But Brandon Garrison, one of the highest rated. So the ratings only go up to 100, okay? And out of these ratings that do in fact go up to 100, we've got dudes that are up there. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaiah Miranda and Brandon Garrison are 2 of the most highly rated recruits in Oklahoma State history. And then you have to take into consideration that East Carolina transfer, Javon Small, he was the man that did everything for them in East Carolina. He comes in, he can shoot, he can run the show, he can facilitate, and he's a leader presence. We know Connor Dow has been a very, very, very pleasant surprise because the dude showed up in Spain and he was able to knock down a lot of threes, be consistent, get in the double digits. The other day, he had a chance at the charity stripe, a.k.a. the free throw line. And if he made the daggone thing, then the team didn't have to do a bunch of running, right? Pretty simple, pretty good, but he did it. That's the big thing. And then when we go back to somebody like Isaiah Miranda, again, he scored a 98.3 on the 100 scale. And Brandon Garrison was a McDonald's All-American at 98.6. But neither of them have ever played before at this level. And it did show in Spain that those 2 got beat up a decent amount down low. We didn't have Mike Marsh. And Mike Marsh is the bruiser type. Mike Marsh is the 6'10", 250 guy, right? And we didn't have him to bang down low. That is going to be a necessity. And in a recent interview, he was kind of asked about, the leadership role that Mike Boynton's put on him to get Brandon Garrison and Isaiah Miranda up to this level, up to this speed as quickly as physically possible. And of course, he's going to take on that role. But going from, Gray Academy, Collegiate Academy, South Carolina, Dodge City, now Oklahoma State, played at Jacksonville. He's had a bumpy road, right? He's dealt through adversity. He's had to deal with some things, but he's got the weight, he's got the size, he's got the mental makeup and the know-how to help Garrison figure this thing out. Guys, Brandon Garrison's 6'11", and he's only 5-10 pounds lighter than Mike Marsh. But Mike Marsh is going to be that banger, that bruiser that you need. Isaiah Miranda is 7'1", and he's he's 30 pounds away from Marsh. So we got to beef up Isaiah Miranda, but we can play to his strengths, right? He can rip down backboards when he gets mad. Here's the thing is these young guys get a little bit more emotional than somebody like a Mike Marsh. And Mike Marsh does have some capability. So it's not like he's just here to be a teacher and a leader. He averaged almost 10 points a game and just a hair over 5 rebounds a game while shooting 54% from the floor. So he can be out there more than just to bang bodies and be that guy. He can be more than just a rim protector, ball distributor type of guy. That's going to be his forte, sure. But Isaiah Miranda is an NBA guy, right? At 7'1", he's got crazy skills. He can shoot the three. He's going to be an animal. He's just he's got to learn to bang down low a little bit better. And then the same can be said about Brandon Garrison, being one of the highest rated guys that we've ever got. He's an Okie that stayed home. He's a Cowboy. He's a Cowboy fan, as is his family, right? So this is going to be an opportunity to be a big year. Is Bryce Thompson going to be more consistent? I'm hearing Keon Williams has had a phenomenal. He's been the most consistent on a daily basis most of this offseason. He's been a little bit more mature, respecting his body, understanding that he needs some rest, recovery. The diet has to be right. The weightlifting sessions have to go right. When you get out on the floor, there's clips of him draining a significant number of free throws, right? Something like 20 of 23. So the team looks to be improved. Justin McBride is somebody that's kind of waiting, hiding in the wings that people kind of forgot about. This is somewhat similar to Jeremiah Johnson, who I've been talking to some people today about still getting him on the show, the 4-star most recent commit. But again, this can be a savior, needs to be a savior. John McElwright is back. He can do a lot of things from a leadership standpoint. He can score when necessary. He can do a little bit of facilitating. He can be a body guy. He can get some steals, help us in full court pressure, help with some of the rotations. We know Bryce can slide in there. We talked to Doug Gottlieb a while back on the show, and he did talk about how he thought Jerry Hicklin was going to be somebody that was pretty important. The recent talk that he's got the green light, neon light, whatever it is, to kind of get his shooting rhythm down. We have a few of those guys like Connor Dow, obviously Bryce Thompson to some degree as well. We're going to have the physical ability to play with anybody. The half-court sets have not been pretty over time. But again, that's not necessarily Mike Boynton's cup of tea. You got to have the guys that can run, which is a part of the reason why he's got some of the pass. Because the best team that was oriented to do that was the team that got robbed of the NCAA tournament, right? So his final, UNLV running Rebs type of approach and offense, he had that team, and it got stripped away from him. So again, that's kind of why he gets a pass, but it's also why he's got to win this year. It's year 7. You got a couple passes because the NCAA stuff, limitations on recruiting type of stuff. But this is it. This is the year. You know it, and now we need it. We need it as all of us hardcore orange Kool-Aid drinking, just want everything to get better, the best for Oklahoma State people. We need basketball to be the savior, and seems to be the most common mission statement you're finding right now is protect G.I.A. We haven't done a very good job of winning inside our own building. Everybody I know, old school people like myself, we got spoiled. We remember the Eddie days when you didn't win in Gallagher-Iba, right? You had to have a triple overtime Kevin Durant style of squad to be able to beat us in Gallagher-Iba. That's just the way it was. That's how we all grew up. That was the beauty of it. Basketball hasn't been the same. A lot of people haven't had those experiences inside Gallagher-Iba Arena, which is so sad. hopefully we have a fulfillment situation. The roster has been released, or the schedule, sorry. We talked a little bit about it at the end of yesterday's show. It's not bad at all. It's very navigationable. I know that's not right. We can navigate the daggone thing. I know there's some grammar people, police out there. My apologies. But yeah, this is it looks positive. I'm trying not to get too bought in, sold in, fired up, all that fun jazz just quite yet, because you want to see a little bit more. But we're creeping closer to some of the exhibition scrimmage type of play before we get into the season. We have a couple tests fairly early on, but this should be some of the run and gun stuff. We should be better, significantly better now at some of the half court sets. And here's the thing, guys. The opposite of our main man Gundy is he knows he's got to win this year, right? There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And he, in the offseason, he made some changes, made some moves with the staff, got some people, helped the transfer market, addressed some of the transfer portal stuff. So he made a bunch of moves to show us, Weiberg, Schrum, everybody, that he gets it. He understands the temperature. He had to make moves. If for nothing else, just for a show of force, peace of mind, to let everybody knows he knows what time it is. He knows the pulse, and he knew he had to make moves, big moves, small moves, whatever moves, to make sure that he let everybody know he's still bought in, dialed on, and he's trying to figure it out. That's it. So it's going to be much more simplistic to get behind basketball as it will be for the players. We know the players love Boynton. We got to talk. This is the number 9 recruiting class, number 10 recruiting class in America. We've got a few leader presences around. Will the talent outdo some of the other teams' depth and experience? If we can run and gun, stay out of foul trouble, and be more consistent shooting and have a couple more deadly options, three-point line, you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen, especially on that not new, still like the 100-some-odd-year-old floor, but Gallagher-Iba's got a new look to it, okay? The only original floor from like the early 1900s, mid-1900s in the country, by the way. Another fun fact about Gallagher-Iba Arena. Before we get to the Big 12 slate, the Chalk Jayhawks, and the other Big 12 teams, as well as national teams, and maybe some opportunities to jump on a parlay or two to win back some money. When you're talking about winning, you gotta be winning with your vehicle too, because if your rig can't get you around, it's hard to make the dollar bills. So go to eBay Motors right now and get yourself hooked up, squared away on the right fit, the right part, the right time. That's what this is. Guys, every time that you go down the road, it's wear and tear on your vehicle. And depending on where you live, some of these places are pretty wild, all right, with potholes and things of that nature that definitely take a toll on your vehicle. And with the check to make sure that the part's going to fit, if it checks out green, you're good to go. Green means go. It means good for your money. Doesn't matter if it's a supercharger, exhaust kit, body kit, tips, right? eBay Motors has over 122 million parts to keep your ride or die alive. They got all the parts you need, all the prices you want. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. And again, with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, the part's going to be guaranteed to fit your ride every time, or your money back, because eBay Motors knows how to do it. They knows how to take care of you. And they want to turn you into the MVP that you should be in your rig. So bring home the W. Go to ebay.com/motors. eBay Guaranteed Fit is available to U.S. customers. Eligible items apply, of course. But again, keep your ride or die alive today at ebaymotors.com/motors. Again, that is ebay.com/motors. The end is near. The end is near. The end is not here. But with our bye week, or much needed bye week, hopefully it's the get right week. We got time to talk about some of the games this weekend. Of course, the Big 12 slate. Obviously, I'm going hard, heavy on the Chalk Jayhawk right here, right now. It's just the way that it is. I'm pretty excited about it. So now let's Let's jump in and see kind of what we know we got rocking and rolling this weekend. Let's see the Friday slate. We got Utah, Oregon State. That should be a game. Welcome to the they both might be in the Big 12. So maybe you get the orange on for the Beavs, for the angry Beavers. Nah, I'm already rocking the red, white, and blue for the Chalk Jayhawks. So give me Utah here. We got Louisville, NC State. NC State's been a disappointment, even with Armstrong there. So, I mean, give me Louisville. I don't feel good about that, actually. Louisville's been pretty good. NC State's been struggling. It's at NC State. It's a night game, ESPN, Friday night. You know what? Actually, I'll swing it. Give me NC State. Cincinnati at BYU. I love Cincinnati's offense, but Provo, super late. Friday night. Yeah, I think it matters. Give me the Cougs of BYU. USC, Colorado. You know, I'm parlaying. All right. I'm parlaying here. I'm trying to get some recuperation on the dollar bills. So I'm gonna take Colorado. I do kind of feel like they're not gonna get it done, right? But I'm gonna take them, trying to win some money. A&M, Arkansas. No, Jimbo's been struggling. He's on the hot seat, as he should be. And no, I don't want Jimbo Fisher in Stillwater. I'll pass on that. Need my face ID. Oh, my Atlanta. Got it. Oh, what else do we got down here? Yeah, give me Arky on that one. Georgia, Auburn, duh. Georgia, Michigan, Nebraska, yeah. Michigan, KU, Texas, yeah. Chalk Jayhawk, baby. Houston, Wreckham Tech. It's at Texas Tech. This has always been a close game. It means a lot to Dana. Houston's got some players back that are healthy, but Texas Tech, a lot of their losses have just been, proof that their coach is new at this game. Just bad decision making here and there, some odd calls, timeouts, keeping the ball inbounds, that type of thing. But give me Wreckham Tech. Baylor at the UCF Knights. This is where we find out if UCF is even halfway for real. I know John Rush Plumlee's still a little bit banged up, but Baylor's not good. Hopefully they don't fire Aranda and swoop up G.J. Kinney before everybody else can, because I'm afraid UCF's going to get this thing done. Mizzou, Vanderbilt, Mizzou, yeah. Give me Mizzou. LSU, Ole Miss. Ole Miss, man, that was a heartbreaker. I had you. You disappointed me. Okay. Don't like it. Don't love it. Not happy about it. But I'm going to go with you again. Do not burn me again, Lane. Come on, man. Iowa State, OU. OU's going to win that game. Let's see. Notre Dame, Duke. Notre Dame, they're just not very creative. There's a lot of similarities between Oklahoma State and Notre Dame, other than the fact that they've won this year and they're just outside of the top 10. But their offense is very stagnant, not very creative. And then you've seen Tyler Buckner over at Alabama. It's okay. But, yeah, so I'm going to pull the upset here. Notre Dame, burn me. Give me Duke. South Carolina, Tennessee. It's at Tennessee. What time is it? It's a night game. You know what? No, give me South Carolina. I hate Spencer Rattler, but I like Shane Beamer. Pitt, Virginia Tech. Oh, that could be a good one. Pitt needs to rebound, but they're pretty terrible. Give me. I don't want to pick Tech. Actually, you give me Pitt. Man, maybe they might get right. West Virginia at TCU. West Virginia is actually not bad. This has to be an opportunity for TCU to make a statement. I kind of want to pick West Virginia. I kind of do. I know they've got some questions offensively. Is Garrett Green going to be healthy? Do they just stick with Nico Marchiol? But I'm going to do it, dag knob. We need to make some money. All right. So give me West Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi State. I think Alabama, unfortunately, gets it done. Washington, Arizona. I want to pick Arizona. I will bet. I'll put, a quarter, 20 cents on Arizona because the line will be big enough to make some money. But I'll take Washington. All righty, y'all. I do think that's all we're going to have for this one right here. You know I love you. God bless. Go Pokes. Thanks for tuning in.